All right, we are live. So, Sam, if you could just kind of like share who you are, all that jazz. I'm gonna pin your video also.
Okay, so hello everybody. I probably know most of you guys, but my name's Sammie and I'm from California. I'm like the only one not from Texas, and it works. So I'll be moving there soon. I plan to. But I got started, I just hit my year with the company, and which is so crazy to me because I feel like it flew by. But before I got started, I was a restaurant manager. So I was basically working like 1,000,000 hours a week. I was like paid salary. And so if you guys know what salary is, like in California, it's basically like being a slave to whatever industry you're part of. And you don't have time for anything. Like I basically lived at the restaurant. I woke up, went to work, and came home late, ate Taco Bell way too much, gained like 25 pounds, and yeah, that was horrible. So I thought I was like in my career after school, and that was like what I was gonna do for the rest of my life. And then I came across Shay's Instagram, and she's younger than me. So I also was like, okay, this girl's a liar. So I was like, there's no way she's making this much money from her phone. And I unfollowed her. And then like something in the back of my head literally is just like, I could not stop thinking about like her life. Like she was always traveling. She was always in her car. She drives everywhere. I remember one post I saw, she had put up like a bar in the back of her Jeep, and it had like her clothes hanging on it because she just was never home. And I was like, what does this chick do? Like she obviously has really rich parents and doesn't pay for anything, and that's basically that. So I ended up coming across her page on like the Explore page because she went public. And so I started like stalking her. And like when we tell you guys like to keep posting because you never know who's watching, like I was that person. Like I was the lurker. Like there's people who like will stalk your entire page. They won't like a single picture. They won't comment one thing. They won't reach out to you for like a good 6 to 7 months. That was basically me. And then all of a sudden they'll literally like drop into your DMs. And that's basically what I did. Like I just reached out and I asked her, and I was like, okay, what do you do? Like she was earning the $10,000 diamond bonus. And I was like, okay, if this girl is like gonna earn a $10,000 bonus from her phone, and I'm like slaving away for like 80 hours a week, making like salary, and I was making good money. So like it wasn't my initial thing to jump in to have like my life back, basically. Like I didn't have time to hang out with my boyfriend, and that like was so hard. Like we would go like 3-4 weeks without seeing each other, and we live 30 minutes away from each other. So it was tough. So I picked her brain about that, and then I just jumped in. I got started, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I am already in my career. Like, what's the worst that can happen, basically, at this point? So I got started. I joined on, like, the 25th of July. And at the end of August, I went Ruby. And after I went Ruby, I was like, holy crap, like, you can actually make money from your phone. This is nuts. And I remember thinking that, and I told her, and I was like, okay, tell me whatever I need to do, and I'm going to do it to get to wherever I need to be so I can quit my like lame job. And so that's basically it. Like I just dug in, I did the work. I did like what they tell you to do. Like there's no secret sauce or like special juice. Like it's not Space Jam, like, and there's like a magic water bottle. Like you just need to do the work, and the benefits like come reaping. So it's just crazy. So I got to work, and my 3rd month, I went Emerald. My 5th month, I went Diamond. And then right when I charted for Diamond and I knew I was just going to push for it, I quit my job. So I gave them a 30-day notice because I was a director of a restaurant. It's kind of hard to replace that position. So I gave them some time. And then I pieced out. And I haven't looked back since. And it's been honestly just like so amazing. And like, don't get me wrong. Like we all go through these crazy roller coasters of like emotions and like things in our business where like we're full in, and we're like, no, and then we're like full in again. But like, it's so worth it, and just I think that's a huge thing. But let me turn this off really quick because my Wi-Fi is going to be really weird. Hold on. Sorry. So yeah, that's basically my story. So what do you want me to like spill on?
No, you're totally good. I love your story. And I actually remember whenever you joined, I was like hanging out with Shay because it was right after, like you joined right after she went triple, because you joined in July. yeah, so she had just promoted a triple, or she was promoting a triple. And she was like, I just saw this girl from California. And I was like, awesome, like great, like it was so funny. And then it's just like so crazy to think about. So the first question we have for you is, I'm asking these questions because I know what you do, so I just kind of want you to talk about it. But do you do host to post, and why do you do host to post?
Okay, so I live for host to post. I will tell you, I did everything wrong in the beginning of this business. I didn't message right away. I didn't add or grow my network right away. I just I don't know why. Don't just do the things. So what I did, I basically got to diamond off host to post, strictly. And that just really exploded for me. And I just was really just persistent about it. And I made sure to get up so many a day. I remember I'd have days where I'd get up 20 to 30 host to posts. And that's basically all I was reaching out to people for, were host to posts. And I was definitely one of those oh my God, I'm really really scared to message. And it's the forbidden fruit. And it's really not. I don't know why I waited this long, honestly. People are oh my God, thank you so much for texting me. That's so, I've been looking for something like this. And I'm what the heck, Sam? You waited a whole year to message people. I don't know why. But do all the things. But host to post, I will definitely give a testament to, because I absolutely love them. And with host to post, it's honestly just about being consistent, because not all host to posts are the same. I'll get up 10 a day in one day and no one will comment. It's crickets. And then all of a sudden, the following day, I'll get up maybe 5 to 7 more, and one will explode with 20, 40, 80 comments, and it's crazy. So I feel host to posts are just a numbers game. So if you get a couple up and you don't feel it's working out for you, just keep going, because one of them is going to explode, and that one post will change your whole business. I remember one of my friends put up one for me, and I signed my whole outside Ruby leg from that host to post and filled it from that one person's post. That's how many comments can come from one person. So you just have to keep going. And host to posts are also you want to stay organized. I definitely lost people through the cracks, and I'll go through my messages now and I'm oh my God, I didn't even write this person back. It's embarrassing, right? So now what I do is I'll show you kind of how I keep track of them. But so I take my planner, and my planner is based off of one day is one page, because I write really big and I also write a lot. I don't like to use my phone or computer or tablet a lot. I'll use my phone for messaging, obviously, but I like to write down things, because for me, I just remember a lot easier, and it just, I don't know, I feel better when I write things down. So what I do is I use a highlighter system. So I'll show you the page. Okay, so let's say this is a Tuesday. All of the people I message or talk to on that Tuesday, I write down on that day, specifically so that I can go back on Wednesday. I'll go back to Tuesday and double check all of the names that I talked to, and make sure that I didn't open a message and not respond, because I do that all the time. I think I message people back and I open the text and I'm damn, that was me. So it just makes it easier to keep track of. And then how I do it is when they put the post up, I just highlight them, so then I can keep track of it. And then also too, sometimes people don't know how to tag you in things. So it's really important that when you get the host post up, go just drop a couple hearts on it, or go comment thanks so much, you're entered into my giveaway. I like doing that, because then people will message me their friends, and they'll be what giveaway? People will ask me what giveaway did she just enter? And then they'll do a host post too. So I like saying that underneath the host post that people put up for me. Another good tip with host to post, and how you get them to post multiple things. So when I message them, I always say something hey girl, thanks for wanting to get into my Yeti giveaway. You can have multiple entries. Just message me every day for a new post. And I will have people message me, and they'll be okay, what's the next post? What's the next post? So they'll do a cleanse, a TFX, a coffee. And then by that point, when they get to all those 3, I then give them our giveaway post. So I'll give them my Yeti post, because that's what we're doing right now. And then their friends will all comment to enter the Yeti giveaway, and it just turns around and explodes again because then I'll send them product posts. So it's a really good way to like explode your business, especially if you like just write things down and like keep track of everything. It's a really, really good way to talk to people and grow your network.
Yeah, I love that. So I don't know how, I went double off post to post. I remember like on the 25th of September, I like got out, 50 people posted for me, and I ended up signing 3,000 GB in the next 2 days off of host to post.
That's so crazy.
That's like literally the end of it. Hadn't done one since. And so I remember like everyone starts like doing them, and I'm just like, they don't work for me. And then it's like, okay, you don't do them. Like that's why they don't work for you. And it's just so crazy. And so sorry, I was reading comments. But yeah, I'm trying to be like so much more consistent with them, because like I know it's the same thing. I mean, like even like whenever you message people, it's consistency, and you need like so many of them to make it happen. So with that, just kind of like a different question. Do you only do that on Facebook, or do you message for host to post on Instagram as well?
Okay, so the first like getting to diamond host to post were done all on Facebook. I didn't even know like Instagram host to post were a thing. Like, I don't know why that didn't even like cross my mind to think about doing. But I didn't do that. So I didn't do that until literally this month. This month is when I started doing Instagram host to post. And I don't know. I haven't like had enough experience with Instagram to like give a testament to like if it's better than Facebook or if Facebook's better. But I know Facebook works because like it got me to diamond, and like it maintained me in diamond, things like that too. So I definitely know like it's probably best to tap into both if you can. A good way that I found for Instagram, and like especially because a lot of people these days are like bloggers. Like everyone wants to have like perfect aesthetics, and they're like, oh no, I can't post, that'll ruin my page. So what I do is I just tell them to post a story. That way they don't have to post like a post on their actual feed, and they're not so weird about it. Like people are like, oh yeah, I'll throw that up on my story. Like it's not a big deal. Like, they don't care about their stories, but like their pages are like tainted. So I'll show you what one looks like. Let me open my archive. But I just have a pre-made story slide, and what I'll do is I'll post the Yeti giveaway on my Instagram, and then when they want to enter that, I will send them my pre-made Instagram one, because it's all the same. The only thing I've noticed with the Instagram ones is that when I get up a lot of them, I will change my privacy to public, because with Instagram's new like messaging thing, if they're not your friend, it sometimes doesn't allow them to message you. So one of my posts will say like DM Summer to, and then they'll tag me. So when they go to message me, it doesn't allow them to until they follow me. And so sometimes like if I have a lot of IG ones that I get out, I'll just change it to public. That way I don't have to, like, they don't have to like struggle to talk to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's helped a ton.
Okay, perfect. And then are you just doing, so you just do the like 3 product posts, and then their next post after that is the giveaway one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because by that time, I mean, like, I would say I'd say about 50% get to that 4th one. So like they'll post a cleanse one day, and then like I'll do coffee another day, and then I'll do like TFX. I typically stick with those 3 for any type of like host to post on Facebook, just because those are general things that people already know about. So when they see like, oh, it's a cleanse, okay, I kind of know what a cleanse is, where it's not like where it's like weird territory where they have to ask a lot of questions before entering.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So,
okay, and this is what it looks like.
Oh yeah, please show us that.
Okay, so I made it just like a story, and this is kind of what it looks like, and then I'll read it to you. Okay, so it says, my friend Sammie across the top. I used whatever picture is my profile picture on this post so that it matches when they go to click my name. And then it says, my friend Sammie is looking for people that want to make an extra $500 to $2,000 a month from their phone for summer. And then it just says like must be 18, and then I have them tag me right here. So then the people will just DM me Summer, and then I'll know exactly what it's coming from. And if it's a product one, I'll put like DM like sweets or cravings or something like that if I do like a Fat Fighters one.
Yeah.
So that way I know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Can you text me that also? I won't use it, obviously,
Yeah.
but we're going to make one.
Yeah.
And,
It works good.
Yeah, because I know Shay sent me, I think it's probably honestly the same like concept, but it was a DT one, and I've maybe got 4 of them up, but like I'm just so not consistent enough with host to post, and like I know they work, but I'm just so stubborn, and I just like won't do them. But like
it's because you're the messaging queen. We're like opposites. I'm like, I need half of you, and like I'll give you my host to post half, and like I just need your messaging half.
Literally, I just need all the host to post. Okay, so the next story is, the next question is about stories, sorry. So do you use like Instagram and Facebook stories? And like, I guess like, how do you use them, I guess?
Yes. Okay, so I use them a ton. Also, I'm really goofy. Like I don't understand like sometimes like the shenanigans that I get into. So I also have like 2 puppies, and people love dogs. Like I don't know, people just love dogs. So I use my stories for like majority of everything, and I'll also send you the message that I use for that too. But I like to keep a cool mix of things. I don't just like spam like products across the board or like join my team across the board. It's typically like my life. Like I want people to know that like on a Monday, like I'm at Lazy Dog eating lunch and like being ridiculous. And then on Tuesday, I'm at Lazy Dog again, like eating again. And then on Wednesday, like I'm at Disneyland. Or like Thursday, I'm at the beach. Or Friday, I'm outside working at the pool, because that's what people message me about. They're like, dude, when do you go to work? And I'm like, I worked all through that. Like, but that's like the joy of our business. Like we can work wherever, and people cannot fathom that idea. Like people still think I'm lying. Like I have cousins that message me and they're like, okay, so how do you really work by the pool? Like you take your whole desktop outside? I'm like, no, bro. Like I take my phone. Like people are just weird. So I like to use my stories for everything. So I'll post usually in the morning, like a good like inspirational meme. I also do a devotional in the morning, so I'll definitely post about that. And people actually really love that. Like a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, oh, what book are you reading? Or like, what devotional are you reading now? Like people follow that. Or people like, I'll post the page of the devotional and they'll do it with me. So it's kind of cool because like maybe they don't have access to those things, or like maybe it's like a new territory, or maybe they're like not super religious, but like are interested or things like that. Cause like I'm religious, so I think like that's a huge thing. And then I'll throw in like product posts in there as well too. So there'll be like a set or 2, and I always have some type of poll or question. I really like the questions. Like the new one where it like is kind of like trivia, where you can like put 4 answers.
Yeah.
That one's really, really good. People love that. I don't know why, but like every time that is on one of my stories, like the interaction is much higher. And I'll do always 2 answers that benefit me. So for instance, like it'll say something like, who wants to try my skinny mocha? And it's like, yes, girl, I'm in. It's like, duh, sign me up. Like there's no negative option. Like if they don't want it, swipe, like keep going. But like people will comment, like people will pick one or the other too. It's so funny. And like, it also kind of shows their personality too. Cause I'm like, okay, she's a goober. Like she picked the weird one, but it's just like funny. But I also just try to post, I'll show you too. Like, I'm so weird. I was like ranting about like how expensive my contacts were. And I kid you not, 5 people messaged me. They're like, dude, your business covers your contacts. I'm like, yeah. Like it was I don't know. I thought it was a weird thing, but like people are here for it. So little things like that. Like you don't have to be extremely successful or like earn all of this money or like be a freaking ambassador for people who want to join your team. I feel like, and like poor Shay, because she's like, poor Shay, you're getting up there. But like,
No, it's hard.
I feel like it's easier to bring people in when you're new because you're so much more relatable. Like I
dated double, that's like a perfect range. When you're like,
exactly.
bye.
Exactly. Like no one can fathom like being an ambassador making 30 grand a month. Like no one is like, okay, yeah, she's lying. Like you're really a liar at that point, you know? like at that point you become like that Instagram model that everyone's like, what does she really do? Like, you know? And so I feel like when you're fresher, it's so much easier. Like I posted this tonight because I had taco salad and I made taco salad at home. I kid you not, 4 people were like, how do you still lose weight and you eat taco salad? Because I eat taco salad like all the time. And so like 2 girls bought fat fighters. And I'm like it's just random things like that people relate to, the little things. Or if I'm like getting gas, or if I'm taking the dogs to the groomers, like a lot of people can't afford to take the dogs to the groomers. Like that extra $40 expense is like an expense that doesn't fit in. Or like the fact that we do go out to eat lunch, or like that we're at Disneyland, and it doesn't even have to be spending money, but like the fact that we're at Disneyland in the middle of the week on a Wednesday is like crazy, you know? Like some people have to plan huge things, or like take their kids out of school, or like request off days at work, and like that's a huge thing. So the more relatable you can be and the more like real and true to yourself you can be, like the better you're gonna be, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And I've also never been to Disneyland, so every time
I know, what the heck? You and Danny were supposed to go. Lame. We'll talk about it later.
Every time, yeah, that's a later conversation. But yeah, every time I'm there, I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
Oh, she's at Disneyland.
it's fine.
You guys, like, Cheyenne's in the business and she still wants to go to Disneyland. Like, you guys just have to talk about what you're doing, honestly. Like, everyone wants to do what they're not doing. Like, I love that she's, like, super, like, outdoorsy and, like, rides, like, all these motocross things and used to race and all that stuff. And, like, even though it's not, like, huge in her life anymore, I'm still like, dude, that's freaking cool. Like, that's something that we don't do out here. Like, we're lame in California, so.
Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, so you kind of, I like have these questions up because I'm so scatterbrained, but you kind of like touched on this earlier, but the next question was, do you message? So I'm assuming you just message for host to post and just kind of go about that.
Okay, so I started messaging, like cold messaging, recently, like within the past like 2 to 3 months. And I don't know why I didn't start sooner, honestly. I really don't know why. Because it works so much faster. It's more like gratifying too, I think, for myself. Like at first it used to really bother me. Like I used to get really butthurt. Like I would get upset, like people would tell me no, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, why not? This stuff's amazing. Like, but like you have to remove yourself like from the situation. Like a lot of times it was like they couldn't afford it at the time that I was messaging them, or they were like me, they were the lurker who was like not gonna jump on board for like another 6 months. And there were tons of those. Like I have people coming back now who are like, you reached out to me like last August and I'm ready now. And I'm like, I didn't even know this person was still watching. So it's like, you just have to be consistent. And I think with messaging, like, I think the success is in the mass numbers. Like a lot of people, I mean, nudities that I have too will come on and they're like, okay, I just sent out like 15 messages and I'm not getting a response. And they get so discouraged. And I'm like, I understand, like, it's so hard to message. Like, it really sometimes is. It's, like, a constant, like, mental battle, and you just have to, like, do it. Like, it's not something that everyone's, like, wakes up and we're like, yes, like, I'm going to message today. But, like, when you take it, like, if someone told you, like, if you would make, like, $1 million if you messaged, like, 50 people a day for a year, like, you would do it. So, like, it's the same thing, and that's exactly how I think about it. I'm like, if they're in, like, if someone's going to pay me $5,000 a month, or, like, 5 figures a month, or 6 figures a year, and all I have to do is message, yes, I will wake up and send messages. Like, so I don't have to go to work, or I don't have to be confined to whatever, like, schedule I was confined to before. And I like to think of it like Costco. It's like when you walk in and like there's those sample tables and like there's something disgusting and you don't eat it and they're like, oh, would you like one? And you're like, no, thank you. Like she didn't get butthurt that you said no, thank you. You know what I mean? Like she's just doing her job. So like we're just doing the same. Like if it's our job to share it, and if people don't want it, like you're missing out, sis. Like see you in 5 months when you come back, because they're gonna come back. So just keep going.
Yeah, I love what you said about like how you say I just went blank and words are hard. Like if you message 50 people a day, like we'll pay you like $1 million, because like that's so true. Like,
literally, that's this business.
Yeah, like, 'cause it is like I used to literally be the person that woke up and I was like, I cannot wait to send 1,800 messages today, and now I literally have to pull my own eyelashes out to send out messages. And it's just so funny because like that's so true. Like if I'll make a paycheck if I send out 100 messages a day. Okay. You're
okay, done.
like, it's done. Mark it off. But yeah, like that's so
literally
true.
it's like done by 8 a.m. Okay, bye.
Literally. I'll do them all, do a Camp Gladiator. Like literally. That's awesome. Okay, so the next one, I know the answer, but do you upsell? How do you do it? And was it like weird for you at first to like start doing it?
Messaging?
Upsell.
Oh, okay. So I think I'm biased in this sense because I was a server, and all you do as a server is upsell. Like, it's all you do. Like, you want to sell more, you make more money. Like, it just works that way. So I didn't have the mentality of like, upselling is bad or like upselling is tainted. Like, I don't believe that. I firmly believe, especially being in California, if people want to spend money on something, they will find money from somewhere. Like, I don't care how broke people are. Like, I know girls who I went to college with who are like broke and walking around with real Louis Vuitton bags. I'm like, people will find the money if they want something. So you just have to like believe in the products that you have. And that's why it's so important to use them yourself too. So like if you're using them and you're getting results, like you're going to just exude it. Like I just spill keto coffee crack. Like you all need it. And so for me, it's not so much like what's the worst thing they're going to do? Say no and then purchase what they're already going to purchase. So it's like, it's not like they're going to back out completely or they're going to be offended, because it's your job to recommend what's going to get them the results the fastest because you want them to be satisfied. So I don't think of it more as like, okay, well, she's going to get fat fighters, so I don't want to tell her about the greens. Well, she may need the greens because maybe she doesn't eat her fruits and veggies. Nobody does. Like, we're not rabbits. Like, I don't know who loves eating lettuce. Like, you guys might like salad, but I do not. Like, I was the kid that, like, ate cereal all day long. So I was the one who needed the greens. So it's like, yeah, literally, Mariah's like right here. Yeah, basically my life. So that's how I think of it. Like, it's my job to make sure they're getting the right things that are going to help them. So I don't want to just like recommend the fat fighters if maybe like she eats okay and like sometimes slips up but wants to drop 20 pounds. I'm like, it's going to take her a year on fat fighters to drop that much weight. So I want to make sure that she's like getting quick results because people love like instant like gratification.
Yeah.
Like if they can see quick results, it's like, okay, this stuff's amazing. It's like when people use that like wrinkle stuff and it's like a quick fix and they're like, oh my God, this is a miracle worker. Like, no, it's not doing anything for you. It's just like temporary, but our stuff is like really doing something for you from the inside out. So if I can like show somebody like they dropped 3 pounds in like their first week, like, and they text me and they're so excited, they're not even worried about how much it costs anymore. At that point, they're like, what else can I add? So it's super important to just remove like our own assumptions that like all our friends are broke. Like, that's fine. All our friends are probably broke. But I will tell you, like, some of my broke friends are on the system because they just see the value in it and they will to get it. And that always happens. So don't be afraid to like upsell. Also, I think it's easier to start high and go low. So I always like start triple threat, come down if they can't afford it. I think it's harder to be like, okay, here's Fat Fighters, it's $25 a month. Oh, by the way, we have this awesome system that helps you lose like an average of 31 pounds and blah, blah, blah. And it's like 147. It's like not a big jump. Like that's drastic. But when you're like, this is 147, it's our most expensive package. And they're like, okay, maybe that's not too affordable. Okay, perfect. Would it be easier to start with maybe like keto coffee and greens at 111? It's still too high. Okay, maybe we can start with this and this for 78. Like it's easier to go down and still keep your volume high than it is to start low and go up.
Yeah, that's totally true. Because I know like my biggest thing about that, and I know Shay always makes fun of me about this, like whenever I got started all the way until I promoted to Diamond, I only sold Fat Fighters or HSN. Like so like I'm over here like, yeah, like, you know, like I signed like 20 customers. Yeah, they were all 25 BB. Goodbye. It was nothing. And then like literally going Diamond, I was like, I have to get higher orders. And then you'll have that like one system and you're like, oh my God, thank you. But it's like, wow. Like I needed so much. And yeah, and I literally just had to like get over my fear of upselling, because like for me it was like the weirdest thing, like asking people to spend more money. And then I like changed my mindset about it, and it was like, if I don't offer this to them, they're literally missing out on 20 pounds gone. Because like fat fighters, I love them, they're not gonna do nothing, like they'll maybe 5 pounds, maybe. And like my mom is like a unicorn and like somehow lost 25 pounds on fat fighters. I don't understand how, but whatever. But like she is one in a million. So it's just like, I don't know. I just had to get over like my mindset about it and just basically tell myself, like, if I don't offer this to them, like I'm doing myself a disservice, them a disservice, and my business. So wait, are you here? You froze.
I think I froze it, but I can still hear you.
Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, you went froze, sorry. Okay, so the next one, this question's like kind of for me because I am not a customer enroller. Like,
It's my lane.
yeah, like I don't know. They're not my jam. DTs all day long. Send them to me. But like, I don't know. So like, I just wanted to ask, like, what is your mindset on customer enrollments? Or like, do you not even have one? You just don't even think about it? Like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like I focused a lot more on customers than I did distributors. Because I don't message for distributors. Like my life posts and like my stories, like intrigue people to message me. And that's what I want them to do. I don't really like want to reach out to people to join my team. Like if there's somebody, don't get me wrong, that I think would be fantastic at this, like I'll definitely reach out. I'm like, dude, you need to do what I do. Like we're going to be millionaires. We're going to be rich. Like, let's go. But like, if not, my life posts do like the DT work. And it's been pretty consistent with that. So as far as customers goes, I've been a pretty high like customer enroller. Like usually I sign like 30, 40 like LCs a month. And I think it's because of host to host for one. And then now I'm really prideful in like customer service. Like I want to know if someone's using something after a month and it's like they're not enjoying it. Like I want to know. So I want to make sure that they don't go through that 90-day challenge like on something that they hate. And I had no idea about it. Because I want to try to like fix the problem ahead of time that way. Cause I know, have you guys ever like come across people and they're like, oh, I used to use those products. Well, like obviously if they used to use those products, like they had a distributor that someone reached out to them and got them started and didn't do their job to maintain them. And so that's what I don't want to be. Like, I don't want to lose LCs. Like it's easier to maintain than it is to find new. So a lot of my LCs are like ordering like on their 6th, 7th, and 8th month because like I just consistently like am building a relationship with them, like becoming friends with them and just making sure that they're actually seeing like what these products can do. And if it's not doing that, then making sure we get the ones that are going to give them results, because I don't want like 4 bags of keto coffee to be sitting on their counter, especially when like I could be drinking it. So it's super important for me to like follow up with them. And I think that's why this helps me so much, is because like, for instance, like this is July 6th. So like my July 6th and just check in with those people because I know they're about 2-3 weeks in on their products. So that's super important for me too. I would like to focus more on DTs. That's been my huge goal this month. And just in doing so, like I've signed way more DTs this month than I have like on a regular basis in any other month. And now that I feel like I'm at like that leadership level, I would really like want to help like grow my team and like help them become successful. And which goes back to the whole like upselling thing. With new distributors too, like I teach them the same thing. Like I always go high then low, because if you think about it, like turn their shopping spree, it's 4 customers. And then we always want to teach our new distributors like that they want to get to the 400 club. Like that's a huge thing, because that just shows your leader that you know how to teach somebody else how to enroll LCs. So like, even if maybe sometimes it's hard for you to enroll DTs and like, let's say your leader like helps you fill your chart. Well, they want to know that like you can be trusted to like help build your chart too. So if you can get yourself to the 400 club, like that's just a huge accomplishment for one. And it also just shows that like, you know what you're doing clearly. And so you don't have to wait to be like a Ruby to start leading or like a diamond to start leading. Like you can start leading like as a distributor. I have distributors that come in and teach me things that I'm like, what? Because I am so not green. Like I ask Cheyenne everything. I'm like, dude, what is this? Like, what does this mean? Like, what are the qualifications for this? Like, because I'm super red and I'm just like blinders. And so when I need to know things, I will text your leader. So you have the right person above you. Like, make sure you go to her. So as far as that, and just to go with that too, like it's easier with 4 triple threats than like 19 cleanses or like 20 cleanses. So I think that's super important. So you want to just have a good balance. Like you want to still be posting, you know, consistently. That way you're attracting the right people, but also you want to be able to fill your chart too, you know?
Yeah, I like that. And then I'm gonna have you talk more on like your customer service thing, because that is definitely something that like I know my issue is like as soon as they enroll, I never hear from them again. And like I will reach out, but I feel like I don't do it the right way to get them to respond back. Like I'll text them at their 1 month or like before their 1 month, like, hey girl, how are you loving your products? It's crickets. And then too, and I'm like, are you like still loving your products? Crickets. And then it's just like, I don't know if I'm like not saying the right thing or if I'm just not doing the right thing, because I'm also like negative yellow and negative blue. So I'm so bad at making friends. I'm just like money and logistics. I need it all. And so it's just like, that's just so not me. But like, I know, Jeremy, stop looking at me. God. You know, like when you can feel someone staring at you, it just stares at me. Sorry, but yeah, so like what are some
proud of his bag?
He's like anyway, play video game. Okay, but like what are like some things that you like actually say to like get them to respond? I know it's like such like a weird question, but like I feel like I'm just like and I just get anything back.
Okay, so I'm like really weird. I'm gonna show you what I send.
No, please do.
So like I'm just really goofy. Like I am always like laughing, and so this is honestly like I'll send like this.
Oh yes, that's my favorite one.
Like honestly, like I'll send that to my customers. Like people I don't even know. And I'm like it's just so awkward, right? But I feel like the more awkward I am, the less like
tension, like
yeah, like the less like scared they are to like talk to me. Like when I just like break the ice like by myself, then they're just like, oh hi. And like they're really awkward too sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes they'll message me and they'll be like, hi. And I'm like, how are you? Good. So how's your keto coffee? And they're like,
do you just like talk to them about their life? Or do you only keep it like, how's your keto coffee? How's your fat fighter? Like,
well, I feel like, so a lot of my customers come from social media, right? So I feel like those people pop up like on my things like quite frequently. So the fact that I'm like liking their stuff and looking at their pages and breaks sense.
wait, can you like repeat yourself? It like glitched literally the whole sentence.
Yeah, I was like, did I get frozen? Hold on, I'm gonna call in on my phone because my internet is crazy right now.
Oh no, you're good. Don't worry. Sorry, I paused the recording for a second, but you're good.
Okay, my phone camera is like way better than my computer. I'm like, wow, we look a little crazy right now. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, interaction. So a lot of my customers come from Facebook and Instagram. So a lot of their stuff pops up like consistently on my page and everything. So I feel like I'm kind of liking their photos and like commenting on their posts so that when I reach out, it's not weird. Like if that makes sense. But sometimes it gets weird and you just gotta keep like reaching out. I mean, if sometimes they just don't want to be talked to, and that's totally okay. Like as long as you're doing your job, like that's as much as you can do basically. Okay. So just push through like the awkward one word answers, because I get that sometimes too. They'll be like, it's good. I'm like, okay, great. Like, how are your results looking? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let me know if you need anything. Bye.
Awkward, and I'm like, okay, bye. Like, I just
literally, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, and usually I'm not the one who gets stumped. So like when that happens to me, I'm like, okay, bye. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Literally. Okay, so yeah, I completely feel that because like I know like there's like some girls when like I'll reach out to them, I'm like, how's your trip set? And they're like, it's great. Or like one girl, and I'm just like, that's awesome. Like I know it's great, but like, how are your results? Like, I need words. And like,
exactly.
It was literally like month 2.5, and she's like, I haven't used anything yet, and I was like, are you kidding?
I just
like
don't understand people like that.
It kills me. I'm just like, okay, like I'm confused. And she was like, yeah, I'm just like excited. And I'm like, open it. It was the weirdest thing, and I was so awkward just because I was like, you haven't opened it. Like I probably sounded so rude, but I was like, you literally are about to complete your 90-day challenge and you have not opened your product. I was like,
exactly.
It literally, I did not, yeah, that was.
I'm like, that's like walking into Target, spending $140 and like leaving your cart full in the parking lot. Like, open it.
Yeah.
Look at it. Smell it.
Smell it.
Mail it to me.
But yeah, so that was really all my questions, unless you have any more tips or if anyone else has any questions, please throw them in the chat. Sammie's amazing and I love her, and I'm glad that we did this because most of these were questions from me, but that's okay. I had questions. Yeah, so.
I love that. It's like a nice turn of events because usually I'm like blowing your phone up with questions. I'm like, help me, help.
I just remember I was like driving to Carly. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording.